So thank you for your presence today in the spiritual healing open sessions. And the open sessions, it's that much that I prepare a little different. But that's something for me more than for you, maybe. It's like you might not even notice a difference. It is that I give myself the opportunity for free expression as it comes to me in this moment, and set up specific exercises that we can do to go into the depth of what it actually is that we're dealing with here. Like yesterday we met in the idea of the world of effect is illusion. And now today we continue with that. Now that's a starting point. Like we started with the idea that the, so to speak, the world the world of effect is an illusion. And now we dive deeply into that because it has consequences, is what we said yesterday too. It's like it has consequences. So it is, that is an illusion, that means a lot. Like, okay, so there's not an external world, and there's not anything happening outside our consciousness. That's why we need to take a look at that. And we'll come up with some exercises that we can do one-on-one, basically healing exercises. And the healing exercises are basically not to engage in intellect or trying to work it out or trying to come with an advice. No, just to, in fact, to stay with whatever is occurring. And that sounds a bit abstract if I say it like that, but I will make it more clear as soon as we come to it. So this needs some serious preparation. And for that, we have a miracle prayer. And the miracle prayer is today's lesson. So that's what we do almost right away. So I want to say a little bit more about the world of illusion. The world of effect is illusion. It's like, so then there is an inner world too. You go within, we say you go within. And there's an inner world too. And this is going to be a real gift to us today. Like there's such a thing as a chapter 21 in the Course in Miracles. And in the text it's called, the inner picture. And that was very inspiring to me today, like the inner picture. So that I will use some expressions from chapter 21b. It's like the second section. So much fundamental healing possibility that you don't want to skip it. And it comes with a real treat too, and that's called the Forgotten Song. So we're going to listen to that later on too. That is a bit of the program that I'm like revealing already. Let me remember that my goal is God. All that is needful is to train our minds to overlook all little senseless aims and to remember that our goal is God. His memory is hidden in our minds, obscured but by our pointless little goals, which offer nothing and do not exist. Shall we continue to allow God's grace to shine in unawareness, while the toys and trinkets of the world are sought instead? God is our only goal, our only love. We have no aim but to remember Him. Our goal is but to follow in the way that leads to you. We have no goal but this. What could we want but to remember you? What could we seek but our own identity? let me remember that my goal is God. So thank you so much for joining in this moment. And see, it's already becoming like a very sweet and beautiful, gentle, precious, incredible moment together. So that's because there's presence in the house, so to speak. It is actually occurring. The healing is actually taking place as we speak. This is how that looks. This is what is going on. You can feel that. You are totally a part of it. So the invitation is, come to me. And that is really what you ask yourself. You have to come to yourself. That is the occurrence. Your inner picture. You go to your withinness. So come to me. It's in the Bible too. Like, come to me who are, say, heavily laden, and in fact it's like, come to me. But that's happening within you. It's come to me, come to myself, come to my inner picture. Now this inner picture, I'm using that specifically today because it works with the assignment, the healing assignment that we will get later on. So to dive even deeper into, to lay it all bare, really. It's like to lay it all bare and see what happens when you do that. I want to share some expressions from chapter 21. They are like really beautiful healing expressions that are very, very helpful in this part of the transformation that we find ourselves. And when I say that too, at the same time, it is like the exercises that we're going to do are so related to this, but then in fact brought back to your own experience, because that's what we're dealing with. To be consciously aware of what your inner picture is. That's where you start. This is where you start. Your inner picture. With, like for instance, with the meditation. If you're meditating, who is present with you in your meditation? Like, do you have a lot of crowd around you? There's a lot of distractions or very directed thoughts in a certain direction. Like, are you occupied with something in your inner picture? What is present in it? Like, what, in fact, where is your investment in that? Like, where are you with your attention? And that can be anything. So this is good to be aware of. So when we talk about the inner picture and going within, for instance, and being still, like, how still is that then? How still is your stillness? Who is present in it? Is it pure selfhood that is there? Like, is it pure light that is within you present? Or are you distracted? Are you on this so-called superficial level of experience where always the same things are still bringing you back to the service? So do you have difficulties going into that because of the distraction, because of the investment? But you can also say, like, we use it today a little different. It's more like, so is there any hurt that brings it to the service? Because if it is hurt that brings it to the service, you cannot go deeper into it unless it is resolved, right? So I can sit down and meditate for 10 years, but if I still allow the hurt to be present in my meditation as a companion, almost like it is there, then I cannot sink deeper into it. No. So this is what we use too then. But first, chapter 21. So I keep running forward before I even do anything. So I just want to say increase the anticipation. And chapter 21b, like I said. Now here, this is always so radical and direct. Jesus is talking to us. How foolish it is to attempt to judge what could be seen instead. Like, why would you judge what you see instead of looking at it what it actually is? It is not necessary to imagine what the world must look like. It must be seen before you recognize it for what it is. You can be shown which doors are open, and you can see where safety lies, and which way leads to darkness and which to light. So here it is, like how foolish it is to attempt to judge what could be seen instead. Yeah, it's like your perception is in fact what a judgment is. You see only what you want to see. And we know we came that far. Like what I see is a projection of my mind. That starts with the idea of what I want. I want to see that. In other words, I desire that. I want to see that. But that's a judgment. It is not seeing at all. It is perception. It is, a judgment, in fact, that we see. So it is not necessary to imagine what the world must look like. You don't have to imagine what it must look like. A lot of us love to do that, like imagining what it must look like. It should look like this. And now it's different. Now I have a problem because it's different than what I imagined it must look like. But here it is, it's like it must be seen before you recognize it for what it is. So you have to see it first to recognize that it are just reflections instead of facts. So this is perception-based expression. So you cannot see anything. In other words, you cannot see anything if you judge. You're literally blinded by your judgment, by your imagination of how it should look. So if that's the case, you don't know which doors are open, and you cannot see where safety lies, and which ways lead to darkness and which to light. Yeah, now you understand why this came to me. It's like you understand this because it is like literally, if I have an idea about anything, like if I judge, if I perceive and take that as my reality, which is what a judgment is, then I'm literally blocking myself. Like I'm literally closing the door to see in order, like I cannot see what is really there. So I also don't know how to differentiate to what is helpful and what is not helpful, or to which way to go or not to go. No, I'm stuck in my image. I'm stuck in the idea of what I see. So this is like an incredible healing expression, as you can tell. I mean, it's like, no, it's not about the imagination of what you would want to see. No, it's not about your perception. So this goes right underneath all of that. It's like, no, let go of that. Then you come to the place, like true vision, or true perception, as we say in the course. Like then you come to the place where you actually can see and hear and listen to what is being shared in order to help you, in order to see and to receive guidance. Really important, otherwise you miss it. Then you're caught up in your own idea. Judgment will always give you false directions, but vision shows you where to go. So why should you guess? You're actually guessing when you believe in your judgment, when you place value on your judgment. You're caught in a world and you're receiving false directions. So you make a decision to do something or not to do something, to go a certain way or to choose for a certain setup. Missing that vision already can show you where to go. So why should you guess? If certainty is given you by you giving up your judgment, that's all that needs to happen. Like, no, your imagination of how the world should look has no value. So release that idea and you are able to receive guidance. Vision can show you where to go. So here's another important expression. There's no need to learn through pain. So this is huge, right? There's no need to learn through pain. And gentle lessons are acquired joyously and are remembered gladly. What gives you happiness, you want to learn and not forget. Yeah, that's real support, right? It's like you don't need to learn through pain because you will not learn through pain. Now, gentleness will do it. A gentle lesson are acquired joyously and remembered gladly. What gives you happiness you want to learn and not forget. So here we are again. Now the next part is then, if I'm not open to receive this and my inner picture is a bit blurred by my judgment, like I cannot learn through happy lessons, right? I'm still stuck in my judgment. I'm still stuck in my idea about how the world can be imagined, how it should be imagined, how it should be, in fact, how I want it to be, coming from my own desires and judgments upon the world or myself. Now you say judgment, that sounds a bit rough maybe if I say it like that, but it is more like you fix your mind on an idea, and that closes the door to instruction and to guidance. That's why that doesn't work. So pain is the result, in other words. Now this goes really deep, so that's why I take time to, and you have to sit with this. Like coming back to after our meditations, like this is the atmosphere in which healing takes place. It is an atmosphere where you don't hold on to an idea, where there's almost like a warm cover over you, given to you, to gently receive what is given. It continuously invites you to gentleness with yourself. Like, no, you don't have to set up an imaginative plan of how it should look and what you should do. Now it comes back to here and now, to release those ideas, to be very gentle with yourself, to be, in a certain sense, very patient with yourself. Not attacking yourself with more expressions or more judgments. Now to let that just fall, like literally fall open, for you to become receptive to what is actually being shared with you. Very clear healing lessons. See, this is very reasonable. Healing is very reasonable. Vision shows you where to go. So why should you guess? That makes total sense. And happy lessons are easily learned, like acquired joyously, and are remembered gladly. It is not this you would deny. It is not this you would deny. Your question, so this is it. Yeah, now we come a little layer deeper. Okay, so here it is, like judgment will always give you false direction. Vision shows you where's to go. So why should you guess? Yeah, you want to learn through happy lessons, gentle lessons, acquired joyously, and are remembered gladly. What gives you happiness? You want to learn and not forget, right? And you say, yes, of course. Yeah, it sounds reasonable. So here's the next step then. I mean, this is a layer below that. It is not this you would deny. No. Your question is whether the means by which this course is learned will bring you the joy it promises. This is your question. If you believed it would, the learning of it would be no problem. You are not happy learners yet, because you still remain uncertain that vision gives you more than judgment does. And you have learned that both you cannot have. See what I mean with a healing lesson or expression? It's like this is a crux of the block, so to speak. Like, it is not this you would deny, like, no, happy lessons are happily learned, but the question actually is, do you believe that learning this, would you believe that it brings you the joy it promises? If you are convinced that it will bring you the joy that it promises, it would be easy to learn. But see, here's the thing, you might doubt that. You're not happy learners yet because you still remain uncertain that vision gives you more than the judgment does. Like, you still believe your perception is number one and is what you desire, and you rely on it. Well, we saw in the beginning of these expressions, like, judgment always gives you wrong guidance. It's not going to bring you where you want to go. No, it's going to, in fact, bring you into more trouble, to say it flat out. The blind become accustomed to their world by their adjustment to it. They think they know their way about in it. They learned it not through joyous lessons, but through the stern necessity of limits they believed they could not overcome. And still believing this, they hold those lessons dear and cling to them because they cannot see. Like, at least you know what you have. And this is very common, of course. Like, so it's great to take a moment to actually take a look at that. That's why we do that in our practice today. It's like, okay, here's your inner picture. You go within, but then what happens? The blind become accustomed to their world by their adjustments to it. They think they know their way about in it, and they learned it not through joyous lessons, but through the stern necessity of limits they believed they could not overcome. And still believing this, they hold those lessons dear and cling to them because they cannot see. They do not understand the lessons keep them blind. This they do not believe, and so they keep the world they learned to see in their imagination, believing that their choice is that or nothing. They hate the world they learned through pain. And everything they think is in it serves to remind them that they are incomplete and bitterly deprived. Thus, they define their life and where they live it, adjusting to it as they think they must, afraid to lose the little that they have. And so it is with all who see the body as all they have and all their brothers have. They try to reach each other and they fail, and fail again. And they adjust to loneliness, believing that to keep the body is to save the little that they have. So thus they define their life and where they live it, adjusting to it as they think they must, afraid to lose the little that they have. And so it is with all those who see the body as all that they have, and all their brothers have. They try to reach each other and they fail. They fail again, and they adjust to loneliness, believing that to keep the body is to save the little that they have. So it's actually written like black and white. Can you believe that? It's like it actually says it. It actually says it. So you recognize this, what is being shared. Like, it might not be your total story, but you recognize your part in that. And that's why it is given to you. Like, that's why it's given to you to do this consciously, because it need not be. Like, there's no need to continue that way. And that makes it like a beautiful healing lesson. An incredible possibility for a shift into a whole different experience of yourself. Now, these are beautiful words, and that's all fine. Great, wonderful. But what is this memory? What is this memory that is haunting you? Like the fact that you fend it off, like defend it and keep it off, must have a reason. There must be a reason why you are holding it off, why you trust the lessons of the world more than your inner lessons of wholeness and completion, joyous lessons. That's like it said, like you're not a happy learner yet. It's like, why not? Why are you not a happy learner yet? Because there's a reason for that. Like, you hold on to say a belief in the judgments that you make, holding on to the imagined world, how you would want it to be. And this is what's going on. Like, it's plainly stated here. But something is pulling you out of that continuously. Like, there's a little cry there, and that is taking you, like, will not leave you, will not let you be at peace with that situation. So it's always restlessness, it's always like a disruption, always like something is going on. Now here, what I'm going to share now with you is then another embrace, you could say, an embrace with this recognition of that what is pulling you, that what is actually helping you to go through all of this. And I'm sharing that with you. We call it the Forgotten Song. Listen and try to think if you remember what we will speak of now. Listen, perhaps you catch a hint of an ancient state not quite forgotten, dim perhaps, and yet not altogether unfamiliar, like a song whose name is long forgotten, and the circumstances in which you heard completely unremembered. Not the whole song has stayed with you, but just a little wisp of melody, attached not to a person or a place or anything particular, but you remember from just this little part how lovely was the song, how wonderful the setting where you heard it, and how you loved those who were there and listened with you. The notes are nothing, yet you have kept them with you, not for themselves, but as a soft reminder of what would make you weep if you remembered how dear it was to you. You could remember, yet you are afraid, believing you would lose the world you learned since then. And yet you know that nothing in the world you learned is half so dear as this. Listen and see if you remember an ancient song you knew so long ago and held more dear than any melody you taught yourself to cherish since. Beyond the body, beyond the sun and stars, past everything you see and yet somehow familiar, is an arc of golden light that stretches as you look into a great and shining circle. And all the circle fills with light before your eyes, and the edges of the circle disappear, and what is in it is no longer contained at all. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity. Nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that this light is not. This is the vision of the Son of God, whom you know well. Here is the sight of him who knows his Father. Here is the memory of what you are, a part of this, with all of it within you, and joined to all of it as surely as all is joined to you. Accept the vision that can show you this and not the body. You know the ancient song and know it well. Nothing will be ever as dear to you as this ancient hymn of love the Son of God sings to his Father still. And now the blind can see, for the same song they sing in honor of their Creator gives praise to them as well. The blindness that they made will not withstand the memory of this song, and they will look upon the vision of the Son of God, remembering who he is they sing of. What is a miracle but this remembering? And who is there in whom this memory lies not? The light in one awakens it in all, and when you see it in each other, you are remembering it for everyone.